Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Vintage Story on the Aura Fury server. Hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing great. So it has been a few days since I've had a video out, and I apologize for that. I've been having some really nasty headaches. Been a lot of stress at work, and it's been kind of taking its toll on me. But in good news, one of my coworkers had a baby yesterday. So congratulations to her. Very healthy little 7 pound 6 ounce baby boy. So congratulations to her. And yeah, finally to the point of where I can start playing again. But unfortunately, it seems like I'm not picking everything up. Carrot seeds, yeah, I'm not picking those up. Well, while I was not able to record, I was able to get on the server occasionally, and I did a little bit of work. So we have a bunch of chests here, and actually, let's go ahead and throw these in there real quick. And we have lots of stuff. So what I've been doing is sieving sand. And each stack of chests here represents 2 stacks of sand sieved. So that's already 8 stacks. This next one is not full, but we do have a lot of this stuff in our inventory. So we have 1 stack that we have already sieved out of this next set. So I'm going to go ahead and drop all this stuff in there. That way I have some inventory space, because that's just absolutely horrible otherwise. But yes, we are getting a lot of stuff, lots of copper, lots of sphalerite, some gold, metal parts, quartz of both clear and non-clear. Then we've also gotten several temporal gears, a bunch of rusty gears, some necklaces, even some lapis. You know, I'm really surprised at that, but we got some lapis, and we got bony rib cages, and I'm really excited about those because, well, part of the decoration out here in front of the pyramids, it kind of has this look like, I don't know, post-apocalyptic, you know, random stuff growing, dead things, you know. And so having a bony rib cage every once in a while in that would be great. I think that would be the perfect little touch to that. Now, unfortunately, you can only get the bony rib cages by sifting. So it used to be that we could pick up the bony rib cages, and now when we break a bony rib cage, they break into a bunch of bones. So yeah, that doesn't work quite as good anymore, but I guess it is a thing that we can still get, at least. But yeah, because it has been so long since I've been on here actually playing, it's into November, so I figured I'd better get all of these crops harvested, and then maybe I can start looking into what I would like to do today. So in the last episode as well, well, actually I don't know that it was in the last episode, but in the live stream replays from last weekend, we worked on the interior of the market pyramid, and I mean, things are really looking good in there, but I have a lot more work to do. I've got more of the awnings to build, and I need to get a design figured out for the the bench or the table. I'm not even sure what to call that thing that is underneath the awning that you would set the stuff on. The counter? I don't know. There's so many options, and I just don't know what it would have historically been referred to as. But we are not going to be working on that today, because I think that may have also been part of the reason why I didn't really have much desire to play, even though I had other reasons. You know, also the desire wasn't there. And so I want to be really careful about, you know, killing that desire. So yes, I definitely want to do something different, and what I want to work on is actually some of the power systems for our Helve Hammer and the grindstones. So yes, I will get all of this finished up here, collected and put away, and then I will meet you guys over at the storage pyramid. And it looks like we actually have some things that are being broken by hares. Oh, no. Yeah, we're going to have to look into exterminating hares. So I wanted to go out and get a little bit of resources. I needed a little bit of peridotite sand and gravel. And on the way I found a whole bunch of other stuff. And as you can see, yes, I found more meteors. We're down here south of the base. So I was just going down here because I knew this is, well, there's a edge of peridotite sand and gravel along the edge of this granite desert. And so I grabbed a little of that and I was on my way back and I saw a spot here. Got a meteor in it. So it was actually a fairly good sized meteor. I have not mined up all of the swavite because, well, inventory space. Yeah, it's one of those deals. But then I was seeing a couple of spots over here to the side, and I saw this, figured it was probably a cave, which it is, but then I saw this, what in the heck is that? And I come over here, and there's a whole bunch of stone here, and I saw this, and I'm like, yeah, somebody's already been here. So I was looking around for the entrance, and I found it. If somebody's been here, they left a lot of stuff, namely, spider webs and pretty much everything. Looks like if they did come in here, the only thing that they took, because I believe this one would have had tapestries in it, the only thing they would have taken was the tapestries and maybe some chests. I mean, they left everything of value as far as I'm concerned. The only issue is I don't have any inventory space, so I'm going to have to head back to my base, empty out my inventory, and then I can come back here and grab those items that are in there because, well, quite frankly, I want them. I want them very much. So, yeah, let's see if I find anything else on the way back up to the base. This is not terribly far to the base, but yeah, I was not anticipating seeing that. So, I will see you guys in a little bit. Well, I'm back here at the base, and we just got done with the Sunday live stream a little while ago. Apache and I went out and did a bunch of work. We found a whole bunch of cracked forage vessels, and so each of us got 3 of those. There's still one more out in the ruin that we found that in. But also we found a lot of aged logs. So that is awesome. We've got tons of those. We also found 1 blue wallpaper on aged planks. Very nice. We also found a whole bunch of other stuff, including more cinnabar and a bunch of other resources. And I actually had to start splitting stuff up. So we now have our copper nuggets in a crate here because the ores box was completely filled. And I've got the iron nuggets in a better crate as well because the iron box was full. So yes, lots of stuff happening there. We also went out and got a whole bunch of claystone and claystone gravel. And so yes, we will be using some of that here in the future. I've already started putting some of it in here. I don't know for sure if the cobblestone looks as good as I thought it would, but the gravel does. The gravel looks pretty good, so I'll probably leave the gravel. I might have to remove the cobblestone. I don't know. We'll have to see. But now that we're done with all of that, I want to get a little bit of work done here on the top of the storage pyramid. Now up here we have our windmills, and of course we're going to need to get a building that all of this can be housed in. But in the meantime, while I'm still trying to get the design figured out on that, because even though I have been working on it, I haven't found anything that I'm really liking. I've got one design that I made that looks nice, but it doesn't really fit this build style too much. So I probably won't be using that, but instead I would like to do something about this Hellhammer constantly running. and us always having to remove the axles to place in the querns. And so that's what we're going to work on right now. So actually we're going to need some of this stuff, so I might as well grab that and take it down with me. So what we are going to be making is the transmission and the clutch. So let's go ahead and get into our inventory and let's take a look at the transmission. That is not what I wanted. Why did it go into that? I don't know. So the transmission, we need a hammer, a chisel, a saw, 2 angled gears, 8 planks or 8 boards, 2 resin, and 1 lump of fat. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. Hammer, chisel, saw, gear on each side, 8 planks, or 8 boards, excuse me, 2 resin, and 1 lump of fat, and that is going to make the transmission. Now this thing has been available in the past, but it's never functioned until this version. So we place it down, we can see there are 2 gears that are going together on it. Now we need something to connect between those, and that's where the clutch comes in. So if we search for the clutch, so this is the next thing. So we need some more boards, a log, some sticks, resin, and lumps of fat. So mostly the same. Okay, so let's see if we can get this. And actually, you know what? We can do this. Hey, what do you know? Is that cheating? I don't think so. So first we need a few boards. Then we need this over here. We need the hammer and the punch. Boards. We don't need axles. We need sticks. We need resin. We need lumps of fat. We're going to make ourselves a clutch. So now the clutch we place beside the transmission, and when we right click on this, it comes in and meshes with the gears on the transmission. So let's go ahead and grab both of these and take them up to the top. We'll be able to see part of the reason why I've had people say, well, why don't you just run this helve hammer? Oh, now it's stopped. Why don't you run the helve hammer directly off of the shafts coming into this? And there was a reason for that. But apparently now this is not going to work. Well, we can place down our clutch, or our transmission, and place a gear on here. But I don't think that is going to engage that. So now if we put the clutch in here, yes, so that stopped it dead in its tracks. So yeah, we don't have enough wind power at the moment. Dang it, the wind was blowing like crazy just a second ago. Well, let me do a little bit of reconfiguring of the stuff here, because the next thing that I want to do is get this set up to where we can power either the helve hammer or the querns with these 2 windmills. So we're going to need our 2 inputs and then 2 outputs with a clutch on each one, and the one going to the quern is going to have to be split in 2. So yeah, I will get a bunch of that taken care of, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So it has been a couple of days in real life. Now, of course, with Thanksgiving coming for us here in the U.S., had a lot of push at work to make sure that we got certain projects finished before the extended weekend. But yes, I just haven't had any time to get on and work, and now we are into April again. So yeah, almost completely missed the winter. But I did log on and found tons of rot. So yeah, we're going to be getting a lot of that. But yeah, part of the reason that I have been not recording is because I've been struggling with an issue that I didn't want to have to deal with. And that is the fact that this pyramid is a 2-center. And I was trying to figure out a way in my creative world to get all of the gears and the windmills and all of that to work on a 2-center. and it just does not work. So unfortunately, I am going to have to expand the pyramid by 1 block in 2 directions. Now, obviously, I do not want, nor do I have room to expand in this direction. I have nothing currently really on this side, so this is probably going to be one of the directions to expand. Also, on this side, I can't really expand out. So it's pretty much leaving me with this direction and that direction. So I guess I get to pull the face off of the pyramid, push it out, and these walkways are what's going to take up the slack. So these are going to increase to 3 blocks wide on the stairs. And yeah, this is going to take me a little while. So I'm going to get that done, and I will see you guys in a little bit. So with a little bit of time passed, I have gotten a bunch of stuff done. First off, I went through and planted all of my gardens. I have the flax all planted out in the terraced area. I also planted some flax down here in the little terra preta garden behind this one hovel. Then I came over here, planted spelt and rye, then cabbage and turnips in this one, and yeah, we do need to get this one torn out. Unfortunately, when we tear it out, we're going to lose all of that land. This is one thing that I kind of think is an error in the game. You know, I can understand not wanting to have people taking advantage of the nutrient levels, breaking farmland, and then replacing it, retilling it. But at the same time, I really feel that if that farmland is full nutrient level, you know, so like in the case of this medium fertility soil, if it's at 50% nutrients on all of the nutrients, then you should be able to pick that back up. It should drop as a block of dirt. So that would be the same for like our terra preta and things like that. And that way you wouldn't have to worry about, you know, being so, well, anal about where you put it, because you might put it in the wrong spot. Not really too thrilled about that one. Maybe we'll see that change in the future. Who knows? But I did get the sides of the pyramid kind of expanded out. So this corner here moved out by 1 block in each direction this way. And then I moved this entire face and this entire face out. Now, when I did that, I also expanded this staircase, and I have yet to expand this one. You know, so there's still a little bit to do here, not much. But ran into a little bit of an issue here. Of course, all of our decoration here on the outside of the pyramid is going to have to shift over a block. And then also, of course, everything on the inside is going to be shifting. So this corner over here is going to stay put. And, well, I guess everything on that wall will, well, no, everything on that corner will shift to the, let's see here, what direction even is that? I don't even know. So that is west. So everything from the middle here over is going to shift to the west. Then we'll split here, and everything in this corner will shift to the west and the south, and then this corner will shift only to the south. Well, that is also going to mean that I'm going to have to change the entrance into the cellar, which I guess is okay. I don't really mind too much. What I'll probably do is put a door on each side of a post or something like that. I think that'll be fine. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of work to do inside of here, and I'll probably be working on that during a live stream or something like that, because it is going to be rather much of a pain. What I want to work on right now, though, is getting some stuff set up here on top. Now that we have a one center, you know, we have an odd width build, this is going to make life a lot easier. So if we were to place a large gear here in the center, we actually have a center instead of being offset to one side no matter what we do. So yes, got that taken care of. Now I do have a lot of junk in my inventory right now that I need to clean up. Also, it looks like the sun is about to set, which makes it a little more difficult to see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this for a little bit, get a little bit of stuff set up, because I know there is going to be a lot of chisel work to do in this. Now, thankfully, we only have to do one corner, and then we can remake the parts in the extended crafting bench. And yeah, that will be really handy here. And also, I'm not entirely sure how I want to do everything above the base structure, because obviously we're not going to have the entire structure this big for the entirety of, the height needed for a full windmill, which, by the way, is at least like 7 blocks up, 6 or 7 blocks. So yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be that big, and I'd also like those windmills to be a little bit taller than that. So yes, I will try to get some stuff figured out, and I will be back in a little bit. So I think we are ready now to start doing our building, and we've got 5 materials we're going to be using for this. So we have basalt stone bricks, andesite stone bricks, and then quarried basalt, quarried bauxite, and quarried kimberlite. So now this kimberlite, I did some mining between episodes and found this. So there was a location down to the south of the base. If we look at the map here, there is a granite desert here. And in the middle of the granite desert was this odd formation of andesite sticking up out of the ground. So I kind of had a feeling from my own explorations in Creative Worlds that this was going to have kimberlite underneath it. And sure enough, it did. The kimberlite starts at around Y100, and we should be able to follow that all the way down to the mantle. So we will have all the kimberlite we could ever want. Now, the other good thing about mining kimberlite is it gives you the chance of getting high potential diamonds, whereas mining the suavite will not give us anything other than just low potential. So yes, we have a much better chance of getting better diamonds out of that as well. So now I do have the design set up for this, and we're going to do just a little bit of this here real quick. So for the first little bit, we are going to need just some basalt rocks. So we'll go ahead and put these here. These are all going to, pretty much every block here is going to be chiseled. So we're going to start by removing a little bit out of the corner of this, and I believe this was done in a 2x2. Have the image up on my other screen that I'm sitting here looking at the moment. So this is going to be what we do in the corners, and the nice part is this will be able to be replicated very heavily in the interior. So yeah, we will dig this or cut this off. And also, we will want to be replacing what is underneath this with probably sandstone, because otherwise, it kind of looks weird having the andesite cobble underneath there. But yeah, so that is the first one. Now, what we need to do after that is start mixing and matching some blocks together. So we're going to take a little bit of basalt rock and a little bit of basalt brick and a little bit of andesite bricks for the next one. And, oh god, I wish these mined faster. Okay, so we will take a little bit of, oh, I moved that, that's right. So a little bit of basalt and a little bit of andesite. We're going to drop this down in between these two. And then we will start chiseling away some bits of this. So we're going to start by removing the top half of the block and then placing back some andesite at the very top. Next, we are going to go ahead and go over to the 4x4 tool, and we will cut this entire face back, and then we will go to the 2x2 and cut out this. Seems like I'm a little bit off on this. So let's see here. Yes, actually I am. So this is supposed to still be here. Yeah. So I've got this a little bit wrong. So this needs to come out to here. Yeah, we're going a little bit wider so that we have a little bit more material to work with for the posts in the corners. So then, oh, I just turned that into a chiseled block. Darn it. Well, that block's going to be removed anyway. So now this needs to be chiseled back. So now we'll go ahead and put this all the way up to the top of that. This one comes up to there. that one stays down. And then this one will be the same way, where we will come up the edge here. So this one will be the actual edge of the pillar base right here. And then we will come up right here. And we're finally getting close. So actually, I think that might be it for that one. So now we're at the base of the pillars. So for this, we will need a little bit of andesite or basalt stone bricks, a little bit of andesite stone bricks, a little bit of basalt, and a little bit of kimberlite. So we'll go ahead and chisel all of these and put them all together. Now this time we are going to put the andesite first, because it is the primary block. We can limit how much we have to remove by doing this. So then we're going to add the basalt bricks, then the basalt stone, and finally the kimberlite stone. So we want to keep that order in mind, because we want to make all of these blocks the same way. So now we will place this one down, and we're going to start by once again chiseling off the exterior of the block. Now on this one we need to go with a 4x4 and remove the face of the block on both sides that are facing the outside. So we'll go ahead and chop all of this back. Now we're going to switch to the 2x2 and go to basalt stone bricks. Now this is going to be to give the basalt stone bricks a little bit of a chance to go up. Oh, wrong brick. And then in the corner here we need to remove a 2x2 of the andesite bricks. Something doesn't seem right here. I don't know. We will look at it here in a little bit. So next up, we need to carve out the center of this. And of course, because we are off center here, we're off center on where our pillar center is. So this should be the center of the pillar, I believe. So we'll take this down to here, and then we will go up a little. Then we're going to remove a little bit here going around the exterior of the block. Place that back in. Then we're going to take basalt rock and fill a little bit in this little inset area. Then we are going to switch to the kimberlite rock and make a kimberlite inlay in the center of the pillar. So this kind of gives a nice little greenish color. It doesn't stand out horribly much, but it does give a nice little bit of color to the blocks. So that is really nice. So we will be doing that on the other side as well, but we're going to continue on. So the next block that goes in the middle is going to be basalt, not kimberlite. We need the andesite again, and the bauxite as bauxite, please. Bauxite and the basalt rock. So let's go ahead and get all those out of the way, and we'll add these together same way that we did on the last one. So we want our andesite first, then the basalt bricks, then the basalt stone, and finally the bauxite, so that we know the order of the blocks. That's just so that if we ever have to pull these down, we can fill the block to 100%, and then it will stack with similar blocks. So same thing again, we are going to remove a 4x4 from the face of this block, and I accidentally removed a part of the previous block. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal to fix this. So we'll go ahead and do this, switch to a 2x2 and place that in. So now we're going to switch to our basalt stone bricks. No, we actually need to remove more material first. So next up, we need to be on the 4x4, and we need to carve a little bit out of the middle of this block. Then we will switch down to the 2x2, carve a little bit off of the edge of this. Make sure that we're on the basalt bricks. We will place those in right there. And that's what I'm saying. This does not feel right. Something here feels wrong. I'll have to figure out what that is. I'll have to pop over to my creative world to figure it out. So then going at the same height as that, we are going to carve out a little bit of space here. And something definite. Yes. Okay, so part of the issue is we're too far in with this. So we need to shift this entire pillar section over by 1 block. Not all that big of a deal to do, but it is, it's kind of a pain that this is actually what is going on. That's fine. So let's go ahead and fill this back in. Then we need to carve all of this out. Nope. Then we need to switch to basalt. And then kimberlite. So yeah, I thought something didn't seem right here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, because I'm pretty sure this doesn't stick out further. Oh, I know what's going on. The whole thing is going to have to shift. This entire edge needs to be moved up. So this should be flush with this. Well, anyway, I'll do that here in just a second. So then we are going to cut this back a little. This will be changed to basalt brick. This will be removed. And then we're going to go here and remove a whole bunch of stuff from the center of this. And that should be the correct height now. This needs to go back. And then we're going to make a slightly wider panel of bauxite surrounded by basalt, just like we did on the kimberlite. So yes, that is what the color scheme is going to be here. And if I could hit the right spot, that would be great. I'm getting a little bit of frame jitter, and I think it's coming from my computer. You know, my computer is not as new as it used to be. It kind of stinks. But yes, that is the colors that we're going to be doing. Now, this wall is going to have something similar to this up at the top of the wall, which is going to be a couple of blocks above this, and then it will have a section in the middle that will just be a continuation of both of these. But it looks like I screwed this up a little, so I need to pull that out. Now, this kimberlite pillar will be duplicated over here on this one, and then we will also put the kimberlite pillar in the center. We'll have 2 doors, one on each side of the center kimberlite pillar, and then that will be replicated all the way around this pyramid. So yeah, I will get to this. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I did figure out what the issue was with the jittering frame rate. So if we take a look at my settings, so I actually had the SSAO turned on to medium. So you can see that makes it a little easier to see the edges of the chiseled blocks. And now I'm at 24 frames per second. And if I turn that back off, then I go up to 60. So yes, as I said, my computer is not as good as it used to be, but at least I figured out what's going on. It does make it a little nicer to look at the chiseled blocks having the SSAO turned on, but unfortunately I cannot do that. So yeah, just a little tidbit if you are having a lot of frame rate issues around a ton of chiseled blocks. So this seems rather interesting. So I can actually put all of these various raw blocks into the extended workbench. And when I put in my chiseled block, it will still copy that and only use the blocks that are needed. So yeah, that's rather interesting. You know, if we watch the kimberlite here, we have 58 of them right now. We copy another one of these, and can we please just copy it? still just 58 kimberlite. So that's actually rather interesting. I did not know that you could do that. But yeah, that is pretty cool. But I am starting to get a little bit of this stuff taken care of here. So if we place these blocks back in here, we have the various pieces here that we need. And then we can start to see some of what this is going to look like. Now, granted, this is rather decorative in comparison to some of the other stuff that I've done, but I would kind of like to do a tiny bit more decorative work. You know, the interior still is not going to be quite as fancy, but it will be a little bit better than, you know, nothing. So yeah, that is where we're at now. Another thing to think about is, you know, the chisel has both the rotate and flip features available. So in this case, we're going to flip this because it's directly from the opposite side. And then all that we have to do is put this down here. I love it when it's this easy to do stuff. And then we just chisel off this corner. So yes, very, very nice. I like that a lot. So we are starting to get somewhere on the front of this, and actually I think we need to remove a few things so that we can actually see this thing as it is starting to form. So I think we can get on top of this roof from up here. Yes, we can. All right, awesome. So question. Eee, nice. So yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of color up there. Not a lot. Of course, as we get taller, we'll have a little bit of an arch above each of these doors. Then this will go up. We'll have a connecting piece across the top, and that should look really cool. Of course, that's going to take a lot of work, and I think we're done with this episode. So I will be working on this between episodes. Hopefully, I will have the entire base of this done by the time I come back for the next one. So I will see you guys next time, and I definitely will say, if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to check out the video description for links to other people that are making videos on the server, and I'll see you next time. Bye.